Call the meeting to order. Roll.
Commissioner Ryan,
Here.
Commissioner Campbell, Commissioner Blower,
Here.
Commissioner Jewell,
Here.
Commissioner Cook Hawkins, Commissioner Sorensen, Commissioner Sorensen,
I'm here, thank you.
welcome. Commissioner Jordan,
Here.
Commissioner Wesley,
Here. We have a quorum. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
This is Commissioner Jewell. Yes, Mr. Chairperson, I'd like to add 2 items under G for case review. Would like to add status of PC 20-930 North Star Landscape Plan and the status of that review. And then the second item, if we go down under reports, the other item I'd like to add is status of staffing. We were given an update at our last meeting, but like to have a status of that. And those were the 2 items that I had.
Under, I think it would probably be new business, orientation booklet for new members. I think I should include new and old members there too, because in looking at our old orientation booklet, it had a lot of things to do with our ordinances. And since we're in the process of forever getting them, if they're ever approved, we will have to update that anyway. Okay. Are there any other additions or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, shall we entertain a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Did I hear support?
Support.
It's been moved and properly supported that the agenda be approved. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Appears that it's unanimous. Next item on our agenda is minutes of the July 23rd, 20 meeting. Everyone should have had one of those. Everyone had opportunity to review the rather lengthy minutes that goes 12 pages, 12, do I hit 8 of 11 pages? Mini book.
I just found a
Yes.
couple corrections, but
Commissioner Sorensen?
yes. On page 9 there, they were talking about the cat eye security. It's my understanding that the cat eye security is spelled CAT as opposed to TT.
We X out of T. That's in the 4th paragraph you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, 4th paragraph, last line in that paragraph, next to the last line.
Mr. Chair, this is Attorney Kelly Thompson.
Yes,
It is CATT. It's 2 T's.
2 T's? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, thank you. Huh, so much for the internet.
Unless I'm been misinformed, but on all of my paperwork, it's been CATT and my communications with
Okay,
the
well
department as
then,
well.
just back at you, I'm gonna leave you as Mr. Thompson on page 10 in paragraph 3.
Mr. Chair, I had a correction on page 4.
Okay.
Okay, so on page 4, it's the second to last paragraph. And at one point, it's discussing the distance from residential, and the first mention is 300 feet. The second mention is just missing a second
30
zero.
feet?
Yeah, it should be 300.
Oh, yep.
It should be
Good catch. I
300
read
feet, shouldn't it?
too.
Yeah, both should say 300.
Right. Yeah, I saw that one.
Okay, this is Commissioner Jewell.
Yes, sir.
Boy, we must be good at reading our minutes because I had caught some of those too. At page 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth, fifth paragraph, middle of the paragraph reads as follows. For the city of Flint to determine those parameters and those policies, there are other groups, and then it should be comma, eliminate and, there are other groups, bodies of staff, and ourselves. So that should read, there are other groups, comma, bodies of staff, and ourselves as the Planning Commission. And then in making recommendations, and eliminate the word for. In making recommendations as well as actually establishing policy. So that's that item. If you go down to the same page, page 10, the last paragraph, last sentence, I need a clarification. Suzanne had said, this will probably not happen before the first of the year. Is the first of the year in reference to the calendar year or the City of Flint fiscal year?
Commissioner Wesley, if you don't mind, Bill Vandercook,
Yes, Bill.
clarify. I asked Suzanne that question and she said it was the fiscal year.
Okay, so we should probably just,
What would
that
that be,
will,
October?
will probably not happen before the first of the City of Flint fiscal year.
Okay.
Thank you. Those were the two items I had.
Just further in that next sentence, Commissioner Sorensen here, M. Wilcox, did you want to put the remainder of that prefix in there, suffix? Miss Wilcox,
MS, Mrs. Wilcox?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good, Lynn.
Oh, boy, I'm just, hey, when I read them, you know. Listen, on page number 5 too, if you don't mind. I had a little bit of trouble understanding some of this, and I think it's because we had some issues with our connection. So, you know, I mean, I get the gist of what we're saying, but I really don't know how to correct it. But on page 5, for the security that that Ms. Mongadas is having, it is DM. D is in David, M. Burr, B-U-R-R.
What paragraph is
Where you
that
at?
on?
It's the second paragraph, second line from the bottom of the second paragraph.
Oh,
Oh, correct.
Do you want me to correct
And that-
capitalizations and commas?
And that is B-U-R?
B-U-R-R.
Okay. Is it still E-M in the beginning?
No, D is in David, D-M.
D-M.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, you're most welcome, Mr. Commissioner Jewell.
Thank
Another, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm being petty, but page 6, paragraph 2, Ms. Mamagandis said it was 300 feet then and 300 feet currently. Commissioner Campbell said originally should be as opposed to original. She did not approve.
Okay. Are there any other corrections? Corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, I think everybody did a very good job in reading their minutes. Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of July 23rd, 2020.
This is Commissioner Jewell. I will make a motion to approve the minutes of June 23rd as corrected.
Support.
It's moved and properly supported, but I think that was Commissioner Ryan.
Yes.
Roll.
Commissioner Ryan,
Yes.
Commissioner Campbell, Commissioner Blauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Jewell,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook-Hawkins, Commissioner Sorensen,
yes,
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner Wesley.
Yes. The minutes are approved. Next item is the public forum. The public is invited to take part on anything appearing on our agenda this evening. If there's anyone out in the virtual world wishing to address the commission, you can do so at this time. I like to, if anyone is listening, I'd like to note that PC 2378 and PC 2379 has been postponed. If there's anyone wishing to address any of the items on our agenda, if you're wishing to address something dealing with Uptown investment, that's PC 2377, you will have a chance to do so during the public hearing. If there's anyone wishing to address any other items to the commission, you can do so at this time. Is there anyone wishing to address the commission? Anyone wishing to address the commission?
Yes, I would. This is Alan Griggs.
Is that in Councilman Griggs?
Yes,
Okay, Councilman Griggs, go right ahead.
I'm just wondering, do you all know what the holdup is for getting out the zoning regulations that have been in draft phase for around 6 years?
I think one of the holdups is getting with the marijuana ordinance done. And the other one was trying to get all the council people up to speed on the ordinance. I think once that's done, hopefully we can get this thing completed.
Well, the marijuana ordinance was used as an excuse. So was Lear commercial property was also used as an excuse. Also, Kevin Sconce was his leaving was used as an excuse for about a year. Each one of these excuses take up about a year. There has been no efforts made on the Planning Commission's part to put any of these zoning regs in front of us in City Council. This has not been done, and it's silly. They've been in the draft phase now for 6 years, and there's absolutely no reason for this. You really have run out of excuses.
Well, actually, Commissioner Riggs, I beg the difference. This thing has been out of our house for 6 years and put there before the council. Well, I don't know if it's ever put on the council agenda because we've had so many other things that went wrong that was totally out of the control of the Planning Commission.
Okay, well, it's never been on the council agenda. So I don't know. I'm trying to get the city attorney involved right now, trying to step it up. I mean, it's, being a draft stage for 6 years is long enough.
I don't think you get any blowback from the Planning Commission on that. We would love to get this thing done.
Yeah,
we would love to get it done.
That's great.
Because we've been saying the same thing here for at least 5 of those 6 years while it's done, because we got it all out of our house to yours. And I don't know what the confusion is. If you feel that if you're versed enough on the zoning ordinance and the marijuana ordinance, I asked Ms. Thompson, hey, you thought I'd get you in there, didn't you? We asked Ms. Thompson, maybe she might want to respond to that.
I'm well versed, but it's never made it to our house, the council house.
Okay,
So if people are saying it's that we're the reason for a holdup, that I heard 2 years ago, which was wrong. They were blaming city council on it. You know, you're bound to run out of excuses. There's one excuse per year right now. See, I can't think of what the latest one is. I think it's not the marijuana ordinance anymore. Oh gosh, I should have been writing them all down. It's one excuse per year for the last 6 years.
Mr. Chairman,
And that's where it's at.
I heard someone,
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Jordan. I don't know if it might be appropriate for me to, I know we don't usually
respond to,
respond, but I don't know if it
Yes.
might be appropriate just to thank Councilman Griggs for his comments. And I think, you know, as Chairman Wesley expressed, we very much are eager to see the zoning ordinance finally adopted. It's been on, we've added it to our meetings as a standing item for the last, I don't know how long, just hoping to get updates. And we passed what we consider to be our final version. I think it's about 4 years ago now. And
Yeah.
so I don't know what the procedure is for council and how it typically moves things forward on its agenda. But I think at this stage, we have passed it from our offices. And so any further updates or amendments or adopting as is would be, is to my understanding, within the council's ability to take up. And so I'm excited to hear you express that eagerness, because it's something that we certainly here on the Planning Commission have been very, very eager to see happen for quite some time, as you referenced.
That's great. Thanks, Ms. Jordan. I guess right now I'll leave it up to the hands of the city attorney, Angela Wheeler. I know she has returned my email and said that she's working on it, but I don't know. I'll see it I'll believe it when I see it. Thanks very much.
thank you. Is there anyone else in the public wishing to address the commission? Anyone else in the public wishing to address the commission? Casey, is there anyone else on the line that you know of?
We have 248-303-8828.
Is there anyone wishing to address the commission?
Doesn't seem like it. That seems all.
Okay. Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing at this time. Next item on our agenda is site plan review. There are none. Case review status of 2930 North Star. Bill, is that the one that I reviewed in the office?
The landscape plan, Commissioner Wesley, I don't believe that Ms. Wilcox and yourself has got together regarding that plan.
Not that one?
You did meet her regarding the downtown development and the parking.
Right, that was the parking, okay.
You need to schedule a meeting, Commissioner Wesley, with yourself and with Ms. Wilcox.
Okay. So Mr. Jewell, that one,
I was just, this is Commissioner Jewell. I was just curious as to the status at our last meeting. Suzanne had mentioned that she would be contacting you as the chair, that they had received a landscaping plan. So it seems that there's a need for that to be scheduled for
review. Okay, we can get to that. So we'll schedule that for an update for our next scheduled meeting.
Commissioner Wesley, if you don't mind, once again, Bill Vandercook, just for clarification, the plans, we couldn't open the plans up to get you those plans. Suzanne couldn't get those copied actually that day.
Right.
We couldn't send them to the plotter, and we were unable to open them up big enough so that we could actually view them online. So the intent was to have you review them the same time you reviewed the parking issue. That couldn't happen.
Right. I thought it was something there. So, okay, we will do that. and have an update for the commission on our next scheduled meeting. That'll take us to the public hearing. So we'll call PC 20377 Uptown Reinvestment Corporation requesting to vacate an island street between West Kersley and North Grand Traverse Street, PID 40-13252-004. Is the applicant present?
Yes, this is Amy Hovey, and I am here representing Uptown Reinvestment Corporation.
Okay, Javi, tell us about the vacation of this piece of property.
Yes, I'd like to invite Scott from Rowe to explain the project that we have planned for that area, which would require the vacation of Island Street.
Okay, Scott.
Hello, my name is Scott Lotzenheiser. I'm with Wade Trim. And if it's possible, I'd like to share my screen. I think it would be helpful to share the exhibit of what's being proposed as part of a EPA GLRI, which is Great Lakes Restoration Initiative grant for this property.
Scott, this is Commissioner Jewell.
Yes.
As you can tell, I'm not on screen, but I do have a number of hard copies of materials before me. So if you just, when you begin your presentation, just make reference to which one that is, and I can visualize that.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Let me. Yep. I'd like to start by just sharing what is the concept plan dated May 2020. As you can see here, Kersley Street is at the bottom of the graphic. The existing building is just on the northeast corner of Kersley and Island Street. What is being proposed with this project is a number of elements that are all related to green infrastructure. We have improvements to the existing pavement and kind of changing that from hard surface to permeable pavement. Those areas are draining into bioretention areas, which we have one at the roundabout. And then it's going to also drain into a bioretention area on the west side of Island Street. That bioretention area has been extended down to Kersley Street with the intention of trying to pick up as much of Kersley Street hard impermeable pavement as we can. That's currently going into the catch basins that exist there at the intersection of Kersley and Island Street and going into the city storm. So we're actually going to be rerouting those into a bioretention facility. As part of the project, we also have interpretive signage to try and educate about what is actually occurring with the treatment of water and improvement in water quality. And we have improved access down to Swartz Creek, which you can see here with a seating area and some steps down to kind of a lowered seating area right at the bank of the river that allows people to access the river and get in and out easily and get closer to the water's edge. As part of this, we do have some minor parking. And what we've kind of included is some drop-off areas for people if they wanted to drop off a kayak or canoe and easily take it down to Swartz Creek. I'd like to now switch over to the Island Street vacation exhibit, which shows the limits of Island Street and the parcel number 4013252004, which we're looking to vacate as part of this project. Are there any questions on what is planned for the property?
Yes, this is Commissioner Jewell. And as I'm looking at, Scott, as I'm looking at the concept plan, as well as the other parcel ID, I just had two inquiries. One was the status of the ownership of the property on either side of Island Street. That was my first question. Hello?
Okay. Yep. Amy, are you, did you want to answer that question?
Yes, I'm sorry. I thought I was unmuted, but I was actually muted.
Okay. The question is,
No, I hear you.
You have-
I hear the question.
okay,
Commissioner Jewell. Yeah, the current owner of both of those properties is the same owner. And they are in the process of donating those properties to Uptown Reinvestment Corporation. So they are, as you can see, signed the application for the street vacation. They're very excited about the project as a whole and are in the process of getting the documents together to donate the property. So all of that property on either side of Island Street will be owned by Uptown Reinvestment Corporation. It's currently owned by
Okay.
River City Development.
I'm sorry, it's owned by,
It's currently owned by River City Developments, LLC.
okay. Do you have a time frame on when that transaction is going to be finalized?
Yeah, they're just waiting for an appraisal to be completed. It is their intention that it should be done at the very latest by the end of August, hopefully sooner. Could be as soon as the end of July.
Okay, so that leads into my next question, and I'm looking at the concept plan, and there's a building which I think it's named Serval.
Correct.
That's immediately to the west of Island. That
Yes.
That's correct. At the northeast corner.
Well, right. Is that I guess my question is that part of the property parcel that's being donated?
Yes, that is.
Okay. And so that building is, there is no functional business in that building at this time?
Correct. It is vacated at this time, so it's a vacant building.
Okay.
We are working on a plan to be able to renovate that building and hopefully be able to donate that to the Flint Watershed Coalition to be able to be used for some of their needs, such as storing kayaks and canoes for rentals.
Okay.
And that kind of thing. It's just not part of the EPA grant, though. It's a kind of a separate project that we're working on that coincides with what we're doing on the EPA grant.
Okay, so just to clarify, there's no business operation in that facility at this point. That building is part of the parcel or properties that will be donated as part of this larger effort.
All correct.
Thank you ever so much. Just wanted to just get an insight on that.
Any other questions from the commission to the applicant?
Oh, just one other, and I guess this be directed to you, Amy. The explanation you just gave regarding the process of donating the property and stuff, is there a letter of intent or letter of understanding or any correspondence on file with staff regarding that?
I don't believe we have anything on file with the staff, but in my conversations with the owner, he said he'd be happy to give the city whatever they need. So if we need to do that, we're happy to have that drafted and sent.
Yeah, I just think it would be helpful for us in making a decision for vacating a street, that we have something in writing regarding the status of the property on either side. So it sounds that if we decide to move forward on this, that's something that can be made happen.
Yes, we can get a letter drafted, certainly.
Okay, that's fine.
Any other questions from the commission to the applicant? Any other questions from the commission to the applicant? Okay, we'll open it up now to any comments from the public. Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to PC 20-377 Uptown Reinvestment Corporation request to vacate an island street between West Kersley and North Grand Traverse Street, PID 4013252000. Anyone to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Kenzie, anyone online? No, that's okay. That portion of the public hearing is now closed. Anyone to speak in favor of PC 20-377 Uptown Reinvestment Corporation request for vacation island street to vacate Island Street between West Kersley and North Grand Traverse Street? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor?
Hi, this is Rebecca Fedewa from the Flint River Watershed Coalition.
Yes.
We are very supportive of this, and as Amy mentioned, we're working with the URC to move our existing Kayak Flint livery rental service from its current location to this new location, and just all of the plans that have been presented, we're very excited about, and we think that this will be just a beautiful improvement to the riverfront and to the section of the city.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak in favor? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone else wish to speak in favor? That portion of the public hearing is now closed. What is the desire of the commission?
Commissioner Wesley, can I make a point of order before, for clarification, something that's came up regarding this street vacation before there's a motion, if you don't mind?
Okay, I think Commissioner Jewell was going to ask that usual question. Has anything been sent out?
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Or any written notification from anyone?
There has been no communications regarding this case, this hearing.
Okay, what's your point of order, Mr. Banneker?
Part of the process for a planner is to route out a hearing, the case. The engineer came back and actually, I didn't have this in my staff report, but he came back with there's a 60-inch water main. There's a sewer main that goes down Island Street. So he wants to retain a 40-foot easement, a minimum 40-foot easement, in case there's ever a problem with the sewer line going down Island Street.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell to Bill. So, Bill, are you recommending that if we make a motion that item be included in as an easement access?
That would be our recommendation from planning.
40 foot.
Okay.
Okay. 40-foot easement. Okay. What is the desire of the commission?
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell. I will make a motion for approval of PC 20-377 on the request to vacate the Island Street between West Kersley and North Grand Traverse Street, 40-13-252-004, with the understanding of the following two items. Item number one, that a letter of correspondence be directed to staff regarding the status and process of the donation of the two corresponding parcels on either side of the island. And second, to accept the recommendation of the staff of, and Bill, help me with this, of access for an easement, or what would be the appropriate wording, Bill?
City needs to retain a 40-foot wide easement down the center line of Island Street.
Okay. All right. That would be the second item of the motion. And Bill, if you can just, when, depending on the outcome of our decision, if you can just make sure that that wording is correct, that'd be appreciated.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, this is Attorney Kelly Thompson.
Yes.
And I just have a point of information. Bill, who would be receiving the easement, or who would the easement be addressed to?
It's Mark Adis, the city engineer. I wanted to
Okay, for the city of Flint?
the city of Flint.
Right.
Okay, just wanted to clarify
If there's ever a
that.
need to repair the sewer system.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Thompson, that was my understanding. It would be for access by the city.
Correct.
Right.
Is there a second to the motion?
This is Commissioner Jordan. I second.
It's moved and properly seconded that PC 20-377 Uptown Investment Corporation requests to vacate Island Street between West Kersley and North Grand Traverse, PID 4132520004, with the addition that a letter of understanding from the owner of the property donating it to the city and the 40-foot easement of Island Street. Any further discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, it's my understanding that the owners of the property are not donating it to the city. They're donating it to Uptown.
Uptown, okay.
Right.
All right, to Uptown Investment.
Right.
All right.
And Bill, I think you can get the wording on for both of those items.
Commissioner Wesley, Commissioner Jewell, if you don't mind, I'll work with our attorney, Thompson, and make sure that the language is correct.
Okay.
To protect the city's interest in the sanitary sewer system that goes down Island Street.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll.
Commissioner Ryan? Commissioner Ryan?
I see him moving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I heard a yes.
Commissioner Campbell? Commissioner Blower?
Yes.
Commissioner Jewell?
Yes, with those items.
Commissioner April Cook Hawkins? Commissioner Sorensen?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Commissioner Wesley?
Yes. The motion for the vacation has been approved. And that will go to council for approval. As I said earlier, PC 2378 RLB Flint Retail LLC Group B Special Regulated Use Permit for a medical marijuana provisioning center at James P. Cole Boulevard, and PC 20-379 RLB Flint Retail LLC requests Group B Special Regulated Use Permit for an adult use recreational marijuana retail facility at James P. Cole has been postponed.
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell.
Yes.
Regarding those two postponements, has there been, have they been rescheduled? at this time.
Commissioner Wesley, this is Bill Vandercook.
Yes.
To answer Commissioner Jewell's question, it's my understanding that the facility that they want to license, that they no longer have an interest in that facility. And so they say they want to postpone to a later date. They're working on finding another facility.
So in other words, there's no date certain for this to come back before the commission.
That's correct.
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell again. Just to help me out, Bill, they are looking at a different physical facility. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Would that then not be a new application? Hello?
I believe you're correct, Commissioner Campbell, because it's a new address, new PID. I don't know how the commission would like to handle that.
Well, it's not whether for us to handle it. The special regulated use is based on the particular parcel and facility. So if they're going to, I'm not sure if they're withdrawing or if they're postponing. Because to me,
Commissioner
because
Campbell,
to me, postponement means we're still going to address the same parcel and so forth. But if you're informing us that they informed you that they're looking at a different facility, that's a whole different public hearing, in my view.
okay, I understand where you're coming from. So I will talk with Suzanne and Attorney Thompson more about that if they decide they're coming back.
My recommendation, Mr. Chair, is in regards to the questions that I raised of whether this is a postponement regarding the same facility or if this is a withdrawal because the applicant is going to be looking at a different facility or a different location, that conversation regarding the appropriateness of whether it's a postponement or withdrawal or new application, I think that's something that you as the chair and Bill and Suzanne can review.
Ms. Thompson, Attorney Thompson, do you have any thoughts on this?
I do, Mr. Chair. I think that there might be a question or a concern as far as some processing fees or application fees that might have been paid by the applicant. And I think that between planning staff and myself and including Suzanne, we could probably work something out with them. I think that they may appreciate an opportunity to completely withdraw. And I think that would be appropriate under these circumstances, given that it would be a completely different property. But maybe they were just trying to avoid paying another application fee and starting over. But I think we can work that out administratively and have it added to the future agenda as a new application as opposed to a postponement.
All right. And Mr. Chair, my main concern for us is the Planning Commission, that we attempt to be concise in our efforts, because if they're going to, if this entity is looking at a different physical location, then that's a different public hearing. And I don't necessarily think it would be appropriate for us as the Planning Commission to be involved in the processing of applications versus the review and approval. So I just share that as food for thought to be looked at.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be in the business of the processing business of applications.
Right.
That's not in our wheelhouse.
Right.
Okay. All right, moving on. Reports. Attorney Thompson.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. As far as the status of the permanent marijuana ordinance, there really haven't been any changes or nothing new to report. It's on the council agenda and hopefully they'll be considering that soon. I can address the status of the draft zoning ordinance on behalf of Ms. Wilcox as well. And I don't think that there have been any changes since our last meeting. I will, however, take Councilman Griggs's comments to my supervisor, Ms. Wheeler, the chief legal officer, and see if there's any room to move that forward. My understanding is that that's been done already. I don't want to speak for Ms. Wilcox outside of that, but I will take the comments and the support from the commission to Angela and Suzanne.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
this is Commissioner Jewell regarding the draft zoning ordinance. I know all of us at the commission at the time put a lot of work and energy in reviewing. It may be appropriate to go back and take a look at I think there was a memorandum plus the attached draft zoning ordinance that was submitted. I think it would be helpful to take a look at when we made our decision on that and when that was forwarded to City Council.
okay. I tell you, I couldn't find mine if my left finger was dependent on it.
And Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jordan.
Yes.
Kind of in that spirit, I do believe that around the time that there was a relatively new council elected a few years ago, that we did send kind of a letter to council that kind of summarized our work on the zoning ordinance and expressing support for that moving forward. So I'm pretty sure I have a record of that letter, and if it's helpful, I'm happy to forward that.
Okay,
The other item I think would be appropriate is to go back through our minutes to actually get the actual date and documentation, because I remember we were sitting there and we reviewed it in our final meeting and we approved it as a draft to then be forwarded.
Commissioner Jewell, I know you probably have yours right at hand. So,
Well, actually, I don't.
you know, you wish you can pull that up and, you know, get a copy to Bill or myself, and I can get a copy to them to make sure that, you know, we all on the same page.
That I don't know if I can get for 6 years back.
Yeah, me neither. Because I left my office. I think I left or discarded a lot of that someplace.
Well, I'm sure that's in the formal records at City Hall, because if we as a public body approve something, that's in the minutes. Secondly, that information, if it was then transcribed to the City Council, that's part of the City Clerk data and so forth.
Okay.
And the City Council records.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Mr. Chair, I'll look into that on behalf of the Planning Commission.
All righty. Thank you.
Was that you, Kelly, or Suzanne?
That was Kelly. Suzanne's not here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. Okay, thank you, Kelly.
All right. The next item under reports is status of the Planning Commission membership roster. And we had an addition on that is the status of staffing. Bill, you have any idea what that is right now?
Mr. Wesley, I do. Ms. Wilcox sent the roster to the clerk. Actually, the roster is from all Historic District, ZBA, and Planning Commission, and asked for those to be updated. And we haven't got a response back yet that I'm aware of.
Okay. To the clerk.
This is Commissioner Jewell. What is the was there? What is the deadline that was submitted for us to get that information back? It's now been 3 meetings.
I didn't see the email that Suzanne sent. I actually sent her the rosters, and she told me that she was going to forward that to the clerk. And I haven't
Well,
I don't have,
I
have a date.
I understand that. The question I'm asking is, what was the deadline time frame that was set by staff for information back? There's a difference between, okay, we send information on to someone and then wait for them to return versus sending information on saying we need this by a certain date.
Commissioner Jewell, from what I think I'm hearing from Bill is there was no deadline set for return. I think one of the things that we might do is have them request the information from the clerk's office with a date certain for it to return. And then we have a more, we have something in writing or an email to that effect.
Okay.
All right.
I just want to make sure we're moving forward with the information we're needing.
Okay. I think we can do that. In the status of staff, Bill, would you have any idea where we are in getting a planner and all the rest of those things?
I'm unaware of where we're at.
Okay. All right. Ms. Wilcox is not present, so we'll move on. Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Chair,
yes.
Between now and our next meeting, is that something that you, as our chair, and Suzanne can finalize some information on the status of update on the staffing and so forth?
I think something we could probably look into, but I don't know what type of pull we have with HR to try to get that information.
No, I'm just talking about you and Suzanne chatting before our next meeting regarding the status.
Okay, yeah. Status of staffing.
Right.
Fine.
Mr. Chair, I also noted that there was on our agenda the capital improvement plan. I don't know if that was addressed.
I think that was not addressed, and I don't know if Attorney Thompson have any information on the capital improvement plan because she gave that report for Suzanne.
Mr. Chair, this is Attorney Kelly Thompson.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar enough with the capital improvement plan to be able to speak on it on Suzanne's behalf.
Okay. All right. We will try to get some information on that at our next meeting. Very good. Any resolutions?
This is Bill Vandercook.
Yeah, Bill.
Leslie, there's no resolutions.
Okay. Old business marijuana relicensing policy, routing sheet.
Mr. Chair, this is Kelly Thompson.
Yes.
So the changes that have been discussed, they've been revised. The form has been revised to reflect the changes we've discussed. So title will be the annual facility review, and adding a timestamp in the bottom margin to note when the form was adopted and revised. So those 2 items have been changed on the form. And then in addition to that, I have been communicating with Sergeant Booth in the police department to get the police department's acceptance of their portion of it, and then we'll be that much closer to implementation. I believe the fire department is the only section left, and to get their approval as to form for that portion of the form, and then it'll be ready for implementation.
Okay. The Bylaw Committee.
Oh.
We have not met. Or is there anything else with that?
Well, I was just gonna say, I was able to call up the date for the, that we adopted the zoning ordinance. So
Okay.
for those that need to look at that, for the minutes, it was from March 28th, 2017.
March 28th, 2017, zoning ordinance, right?
And Mr. Chair, this is Kelly Thompson again.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I could ask the planning commission, since I wasn't the staff attorney at the time, would any correspondence have been drafted initially by the staff attorney then, or was it drafted by someone else?
So this is Commissioner Jordan. I just sent you an email and also included Bob and Bill on that it's a copy of the letter that the planning commission drafted and sent to the council.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Here again, going to the Bylaw Committee. We have not met. And Kelly, I don't know if how we can do this with Commissioner Blower, Elizabeth, and myself, along with you, to review those. How we want to do it? We want to do a phone conference, or can we sneak in the building and have a face-to-face with our masks on? Like maybe in the planning conference room on the second floor or something? What do you guys think about that? The two, because you know, looking at the other bylaws and looking at our bylaws, you know, there's a couple of things that I have in mind. I think it was in Ann Arbor bylaws, they have roles and responsibilities, which I know one of our commissioners is always talking about roles and responsibilities, might be a part that we want to add to our bylaws. And another thing is the time frame by which postponements and withdrawals, you know, what time frame we're looking at bringing those back before us as part of our bylaws. So, you know, I'd like to get together, maybe we can go through some things, because I think we've looked at it, and I reviewed the Michigan State stuff. I said that for Commissioner Blowers. And try to get, if we need to do anything with our bylaws. I think everybody right now have a copy of our bylaws. And so if any of the commissioners like to add something, you can either shoot myself an email or something that you'd like for us to address in a meeting that we have to address with each other. So if you have something you want to do, and we look at anybody have any time, a table as a date for certain, that maybe we can sneak in the conference room on the second floor. We can practice social distances and everything up there, because there's only 3 or 4 of us to get this done. Any dates in mind? You know, my schedule is kind of open. Kelly, so I guess it would be, you know, at you, what time, you know, you have some time free, or get together and take a look.
Mr. Chair, this is Kelly Thompson. I would just humbly request not Tuesdays. In the evenings, obviously, I usually have meetings, and in the mornings, I have hearings at district court. Any day other than Tuesday, I can make myself available.
Elizabeth and Carol?
Chairman Wesley, Wednesday would be kind of my preferred day, but I could squeeze you in any other day as well.
In, huh? Okay.
Squeeze you in. Hey, you had your dig with Michigan State a minute ago. I'm being nice. I'm very comfortable meeting in person, socially distanced in the conference room. I definitely think that we need to have kind of conversation more than email, to kind of bounce around some ideas and kind of work through some stuff. I've started to review what you and Bill have sent, and I think there are quite a few number of topics we need to discuss.
Okay. Elizabeth, how are you? What did it look like for you?
Well, mine very much depends on the particular week. So I would say look for something that works well for you all. But there's not a certain day of the week that is always better or always worse for me. It just kind of depends on what meetings I already have scheduled. We can talk further offline if necessary. My own comfort level is that I'm not really doing in-person meetings at the time, just anyhow, based on some other things with family and whatnot. But I'm happy to participate by Zoom, or if you all want to meet in person, I can certainly send you some thoughts based on the other bylaws by email, so whichever works best.
You know, it's no fun if you're not there. You know that now. Come on. Because we throwing a little virtual baseball, softball, anything. Wednesdays right now would work fine for me. At a time frame like, what's today? Tuesday. What about a week from Wednesday, to give everybody time to kind of look at their schedule? That would be. Anybody got a calendar? A week from Wednesday would be what, the 20?
Yeah, if it's the 22nd, I could do that morning.
22nd morning?
Yep.
26th, July 22nd. What time? You know, us retired folks, you know, we don't rise that early. What, 10, 11 o'clock?
We can do 11 if that's good for you.
I'm available.
11?
That works for me, Mr.
Yeah.
Chair.
Okay. 11 a.m. on July 22nd. Hey, Bill? Bill, are you there?
I'm here.
You know, we might need to sneak in come through the basement, the door by the dome room. The dome, talking about the dorm room. Flashback college days, folks, dome room. Anyway,
I
by the dome.
I can let everyone in, and anyone that wants to participate in Zoom for that meeting, we'll set that up too, so.
Oh,
Okay.
great. Thank you.
That sounds great. Elizabeth, we gonna be Zooming. Get Kenneth in there to get you hooked up.
He's the one who can do it too.
Yes. So that'd be July 22nd at 11 a.m. Okay. Orientation booklet for the new members. That's something that we probably can discuss at that time too, because like I said before, I think that'd be good. I don't know if any of you remember Sherry Pierce. We got a big booklet, a big blue booklet that had all the ordinances and everything in them. And since we're in the process of changing all of that, I don't know it wouldn't do any good to like get that out right now, but that's could be, in addition to the bylaw thing, could be one of the things that we can discuss. Commissioner Jewell?
Yes.
Would that be something you want to participate in? You could either send us email. If we're gonna have a Zoom, we can do a phone thing with you on the 22nd at that time. How about that?
Let me look. 11 o'clock on the 22nd.
Yes.
Okay. I can make arrangements for a call in.
Okay. We'll do that. So, okay, that took care of those items. Any new business? No new business? You know, I guess we come to the end of our meeting. The chair would entertain a motion for adjournment. Then.
So moved.
So moved.
I had Elizabeth making the motion and Commissioner Blower
I will support.
supporting the motion. And once again, like always, thanks everybody for joining us, and stay safe. And I'll see you guys on the 22nd. It's gonna be great to see you all. I'll have to do you by Zoom, Elizabeth. So you guys take care. KZ, where you go?
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, I would say, take us home, KZ. Hey, everybody have a great day.
Good night.
Thank you. Good
Good night.
night.